Look, we all felt like what she did was classless.
You are going to get booed, DeWanna Bonner.
The most pathetic way I have ever seen anybody leave a team.
She left her teammates in the dark.
See, this is where I'm not really feeling this part. All this, I want people to be happy. Sophie, I understand it, but this is still a business.
She straight up ghosted the Indiana Fever like Casper the Friendly Ghost out here, man.
Could have just, pieced out to us, as we held your water.
We all felt like what she did was classless. You're gonna get booed, DeWanna Bonner. This is the most pathetic way I've ever seen anyone leave a team.
You are going to get booed, DeWanna Bonner.
The most pathetic way I have ever seen anybody leave a team.
Look, we all felt like what she did was classless.
She left her teammates in the dark. She just really wasn't happy in Indiana. She straight up ghosted the Indiana Fever like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
She left her teammates in the dark.
She straight up ghosted the Indiana Fever like Casper the Friendly Ghost out here, man.
You could have just pieced out to us, as we held your water.
Could have just, pieced out to us, as we held your water.
I do think what she did was classless. I think you don't leave your team and not say anything and not post anything and not wish them well. I'm not mad at her for leaving. She didn't want to be there. That's fine.
Look, we all felt like what she did was classless, but I think this sort of confirms it. When you ignore your teammates, when you just decide you're not going to say anything to them about you leaving, not going to tell anybody to your knowledge goodbye.
But the way she did it was not okay. That's not how you leave a team that you've gone to war with. That's not how you leave players that supported you. She just vanished, and we were all left wondering why.
That, in my opinion, that shows a major, major lack of character. And that's exactly what Sophie Cunningham is saying happened here. All right? This is wild. DeWanna Bonner played with these players. Now, we got to remember, I called DeWanna Bonner out because even though she did not want to be in Indiana,
she just walked out. No notice, no conversation, nothing. And when we tried to reach out, silence. That's not just unprofessional. That's personal. She burned a bridge with people who truly believed in her.
She literally acted like a 6-year-old. Everybody like DeWanna Bonner's a legend. She's a vet. This is the most pathetic way I've ever seen. The most pathetic way I have ever seen anybody leave a team. And you can say whatever the hell you want. Oh, DB's a legend. She deserves respect. Yeah. I'll give DeWanna Bonner her respect.
I don't care what her reasons were. You don't do that to your teammates. And from what I heard, Sophie Cunningham said, she lied. She quit. She'll get booed. And honestly, she's not wrong.
I will absolutely give DeWanna Bonner her respect for her career. DeWanna Bonner, this is the worst way I've ever seen a player leave a team. And I am a Miami Heat fan. We had to deal with Jimmy fucking Butler last year. And this is even worse.
She just really wasn't happy in Indiana, and I think that showed in her attitude. But what really ticked people off is the way she left. Caitlin Clark had this image of Bonner being this leader, this pro, and then she goes and ghosts the team like that? Sophie said it best, that was classless. No goodbye, no support, no leadership. Just gone.
See, this is where I'm not really feeling this part. All this, I want people to be happy. Sophie, I understand it, but this is still a business. A lot of people aren't happy on the teams they're on. A lot of people are not going to the playoffs at all.
Sophie Cunningham begins by painting a personal picture of her relationship with DeWanna Bonner. She says Bonner was one of her vets back in Phoenix, which adds weight to her disappointment. Sophie highlights how Bonner was surprisingly signed to Indiana, and from the start, she didn't seem happy there.
Can I give you this scenario?
Yeah.
And I like DB because DB was one of my vets when I was in Phoenix, and then
That's important to point out. Prior history with Sophie Cunningham and DeWanna Bonner. So there were previous established relationships coming into this season, which may, have been more credible than just meeting somebody for the first time, how she met most of the team.
Sophie admits that although Bonner is a Hall of Famer and a legend, her attitude in Indiana wasn't what the team expected. Then Sophie makes it clear being unhappy doesn't excuse unprofessional behavior. Without naming it directly, she implies that Bonner's actions were selfish and disruptive.
We gathered here into Indiana. And like, it was kind of a surprise that she was signed to Indiana anyway. And
Why would it be a surprise?
so we'll take her in a heartbeat. Like, she's a Hall of Famer. She's a hell of a basketball player, can score from anywhere on the court. But she got to Indiana.
Except in the corners. She kind of shoots off the backboard now, but we'll keep it going.
According to another reaction, DeWanna Bonner straight up ghosted the Indiana Fever like Casper the Friendly Ghost. This wasn't just silence, it was complete abandonment. Sophie and others expected at least a mature conversation, some sign of respect.
Fam, DeWanna Bonner didn't even let the team know what was going on in her head. Oh my goodness. Didn't even tell the teammates what she was feeling, how she was feeling. Come on, DB. I mean, she straight up ghosted the Indiana Fever like Casper the Friendly Ghost out here, man. Oh my goodness. DeWanna Bonner ghosted the Indiana Fever like a man on a first date, and he hit the lady with the, "I left my wallet at home." Oh my goodness.
But Bonner vanished without a word, showing no regard for her teammates. This sudden and cold departure is being called out as crazy work behavior, not expected from a veteran. The tone here reflects how fans and insiders saw Bonner's actions as selfish and classless, aligning with the very heart of your video title.
DeWanna Bonner ended up ghosting the Indiana Fever like Marvel's character Ghost Rider, just leaving a trail of blaze to go blaze somebody else's organization up. Oh my God. What are you doing out here, DB? You couldn't even have a genuine conversation, a mature conversation with somebody and let them know, like, this is why I'm feeling this way?
Caitlin Clark was crushed. That's the only word for it. You could see it in her face. She really thought DeWanna was someone she could lean on, someone who would guide her. But instead, Bonner just dipped. And the worst part,
That first episode, Sophie Cunningham got fined yet again for what she had to say about the referees after episode 1. Sophie Cunningham is going to be paying a lot of fines thanks to this podcast. Let's get right into it, shall we? Sophie Cunningham speaking about DeWanna Bonner and how she treated the team on her way out.
she didn't even talk to Caitlin. Not once, no text, no phone call, just disappeared. And it's like that broke something in Caitlin. Sophie said it out loud. You stabbed her in the back.
She's talking behind the scenes with her boo. Hey, you gonna tell your... Nah, fuck them. Hey, you gonna tell your teammates what we got going on here? Nah, screw it. They don't deserve it. They're not worth my time. They're not worth my energy. I don't even know these people. I barely showed up. I didn't form any relationship with them. I mean, man, I did know Sophie from when she was here, but screw it.
We're not just talking about losing a player. We're talking about losing trust. Caitlin trusted DeWanna Bonner. She thought she was being mentored. And then one morning, it's like, poof, she's gone. That's not just painful. That's humiliating. I remember someone saying, Caitlin looked like she was fighting tears. Sophie Cunningham said what everyone felt Bonner didn't just leave. She betrayed a rookie who needed her.
No explanation to her teammates. She did not even care to explain to them what went wrong, what went on. No explanation at all. She's just above explaining anything to anybody. Knock it off.
You could hear it in Caitlin's tone. She kept it professional, but she was hurting. I mean, she didn't even say Bonner's name after that. Just avoided it completely. That tells you everything. It was like DeWanna ripped away something personal.
A lot of people are surprised about. She's towards the end of her career, so like she deserves her flowers. She deserves to be happy. But I also think that if you're gonna leave, like you're gonna have to expect getting bit. Like,
was there explanation when it happened? No, not even privately. Yeah, I mean, okay, that's tough. And yeah, okay. Well, I did say what? Unless you leave on some fuck you type shit, and that's what that is. So.
Yeah.
And it's family, I guess, but like you gotta get, I mean.
I think Caitlin learned a brutal lesson. Not everyone in this league is who they pretend to be. And Sophie? She stood up and said what Clark couldn't, that this was a betrayal. Plain and simple.
That's insane. She didn't even give them a reason for why she left. She just refused to return back. That is such a cowardly move. See, she knew she was doing some BS.
One of the most brutal reactions came when Sophie's teammate or commentator said, "That line hit hard and summed up how many Indiana Fever supporters felt." Bonner's sudden departure with no explanation wasn't just seen as unprofessional, but downright offensive.
Like, respectfully, that shit is lame. And then you make an IG post, like, she talking about disrespect. You disrespected niggas first. If you disrespect somebody, what do you think? If you disrespect the entire fan base, you think they're gonna be like, oh, we love you so much. We can't wait till you come home. No! The fuck? The fuck you, like, why?
It fueled hostility and a deep sense of betrayal. So when she returned to Indiana, fans didn't just, they erupted. Sophie may have stayed calm, but the crowd spoke loudly. Their message, you disrespected us first, and now you'll hear it every time you touch the ball.
Like, yo, you have to be, like, something gotta be wrong with you. Like, bro, you basically said fuck you to the entire fan base. What do you expect them to do? Be like, oh, it's okay, DeWanna, don't worry. When you come back, you're a legend. We're gonna cheer you on. They gonna say fuck you too. Of course they gonna boo your ass.
Sophie's podcast makes it even clearer how big this betrayal felt. She says, but Bonner didn't even do that. What Sophie exposed wasn't just a locker room issue, it became a public scandal. Fans felt misled. The Fever organization was blindsided.
Love you guys, or you don't even have to say love you guys. It's like, hey, sorry this didn't work out. Good luck. Da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? Like, there's a way to handle that, I think.
And now, with everything out in the open, Bonner's silence reads like calculated disrespect. It wasn't just a bad exit, it was classless, as Sophie implies. This kind of honesty from a current player hit hard, and fans immediately rallied behind Sophie's side of the story.
Corner, though, like, we're talking about it and kind of laughing, and I, like, hit her. And, of course, like, the internet, and everyone's like, oh, Paige isn't messing with Sophie. She doesn't like her. I was like, dude, we were literally laughing and talking to each other. And I was like, people want us to hate each other so bad. Like, everyone. I'm just like, what is going on? I'm like, it's not like that. So.
The locker room was in shock. People didn't know what to say. There was no message, no explanation, just silence. And in a pro locker room, that kind of exit wrecks trust. DeWanna Bonner ghosted everyone. You don't just quit and vanish without even. Sophie Cunningham called it a slap in the face to everyone still grinding it out. She said the mood changed overnight and not for the better.
In my opinion, that shows a major, major lack of character. And that's exactly what Sophie Cunningham is saying happened here. All right. This is wow. DeWanna Bonner played with these players. Now, we got to remember, I called DeWanna Bonner out because even though she did not want to be in Indiana,
it wasn't just about basketball. It was emotional. Players were hurt, confused, even angry. Some had been close to Bonner, and they were left completely in the dark. One player said, I thought she was my friend. That's not something you bounce back from in a day. Sophie Cunningham described it like being blindsided in the middle of war. People stopped trusting each other, and the team just felt broken after that.
DB was one of my vets when I was in Phoenix. And then we gathered here into Indiana. And like, it was kind of a surprise that she was signed to Indiana anyway. So we'll take her in a heartbeat. Like, she's a Hall of Famer. She's a hell of a basketball player, can score from anywhere on the court. But she got to Indiana and she just like really wasn't happy. And like, I want people to be happy. So that's why I'm kind of like neutral on this one, which a lot of people are surprised about.
I remember one coach saying, you don't build culture this way. And they were right. Bonner's exit created a mental spiral. There was tension in practice. Some players didn't speak for days. Caitlin Clark barely said a word, and you could feel Sophie Cunningham's frustration growing. She didn't just lose a teammate, she lost belief in the locker room unity. And from that moment, the Fever started playing like something inside was broken.
DeWanna Bonner, this is the worst way I've ever seen a player leave a team. And I am a Miami Heat fan. We had to deal with Jimmy fucking Butler last year. And this is even worse. This is worse. Like, Indy turned things around when DB left. DB indirectly saved the front office's ass. Yeah. And Stephanie White was covering for her, knowing she didn't want to be there anymore.
Another controversy erupted when Caitlin Clark's name entered the discussion, and not because of her actions. It was the fan and media reaction that escalated. As Caitlin faced constant hard fouls and disrespecting games, people began to question if her treatment was rooted in jealousy.
Now, another old story has emerged as well, and that is Caitlin Clark's treatment across the WNBA. And, you know, whether it rises to the status of needing to be addressed by the government. There was a Wall Street Journal piece that I would have ignored, but I had some people reach out to me, and I had this comment in particular.
Sophie Cunningham had previously stated the league wasn't protecting its star, and this moment proved her right. What started as Bonner's betrayal became part of a larger issue: how certain WNBA players and fans respond to new stars like Caitlin. Sophie's stance made it clear silence isn't acceptable anymore.
Savage Coffee and Tea Company, a fan, says, we'd love to hear your take on an upcoming video on the video that Stephen A. Smith put out today on the whole Wall Street Journal article and CC.
Sophie emphasized that many WNBA players share locker rooms and careers with each other over time, which makes Bonner's silence worse. But the situation with Clark shows how these betrayals don't just hurt teammates, they hurt league culture.
What is going on here with DeWanna Bonner? We got a clear answer in Indiana. Now in Phoenix, we are left with the questions like, hey, is it the same thing that was going on here where she's just like this locker room problem late in her career, can't accept, where she's at, as a player at this stage in her career, and stuff is having to get rerouted? I don't know what it is.
Caitlin Clark's arrival in the WNBA exposed cracks in relationships, favoritism, and locker room politics. Sophie didn't just speak on Bonner, she opened the door to a deeper conversation. And Clark's situation became an example of how some veterans may struggle with transition and attention. The betrayal wasn't just to teammates, it was to fans too.
Let's keep it a buck. In the WNBA, there's a lot of player transactions. These players are very familiar with each other. As far as you might have played with somebody early in your career, you're back together. You don't know whose team is going to end up, what player in what situation. So it seems like she was asking for some, fairly common decorum.
It's the happiest I've ever seen Caitlin Clark when Bonner got swatted. She left without a word. No goodbye, no respect. She left her teammates in the dark, like ghosts. Caitlin Clark thought she had a mentor, but she vanished.
And it's the happiest I've ever seen Caitlin Clark. It is the happiest I've ever seen Caitlin Clark jump up when Natasha Howard swatted her.
Decide you're not going to say anything to him about you leaving, not going to tell anybody, to your knowledge, goodbye.
She left her teammates in the dark. She left her teammates just like us, wondering what the heck is going on. And Sophie Cunningham is shedding some light.
She straight up ghosted the Indiana Fever like Casper the Friendly Ghost out here, man.
She straight up ghosted the Indiana Fever like Casper the Friendly Ghost. I'm gonna go do what I want to do. If you're standing with Caitlin Clark after this betrayal, smash that like, subscribe, and share to keep the truth alive.